Hey, what's up guys? Happy holidays and welcome back to another StarCraft 2 cast. I'm bringing you guys a special one today because it is going to be myself playing on ladder, and this is going to be HD ladder battle game 30 with myself, X6 Check 6 HD, that's the team that I play for, versus Tenken, or Tenken, I guess, and it is going to be a Zerg versus Zerg on the classic map Metalopolis. Hope you guys enjoyed because I've been getting a lot of people asking me to upload my ladder battles more recently, and I know I said that I wanted to do more, I just haven't had a chance to play that much. That's really the problem, I think, of being so busy nowadays, because you guys know I work for IGN, and then I try to cast at home as well, and I'm playing all these new games like Dota 2, and I want to get my hands on Star Wars. It just came out, as I heard. Battlefield 3 also I've been playing a lot as well. So there's just been so many things going on, and there's been all the holiday madness as well. I've been trying to shop and buy Christmas gifts for everybody. So I have been really busy, and I haven't had a chance to play nearly as much as I want to, but I did get a chance to play this while I was in the office a few days ago. This was from my little ladder special in the office, I guess, and you guys who tuned into this on my stream on Twitch TV/HD StarCraft probably saw me play this game. If you guys haven't, well, I'm just going to rebroadcast it for you guys. It was a ZVZ that I played over a 3-hour marathon that I played while I was sitting in the stalls in my cubicle in my office. So it was really cool, and I matched up against a fairly decent player. His name is Tenken, and he is a top 30 Masters or something like that, top 20 Masters. At the time, I was I think I was like rank 15 or something Masters, which, by the way, I want to let you guys know that Season 5 has now come out for Ladder Seasons. Ladder Season 5 on Battle.net has been released. Actually, it was released last Monday, so I guess I'm a little late on the news for you guys, but I did play my games, and I am now placed top 10. I have the little star underneath my little star, so a star under the star. It's actually really cool. I was kind of looking at that and drooling over it for a while, and for whatever reason here, HD is deciding to talk and be BM. I don't know what the heck is going on. Oh, okay, somebody messaged me. I think it was my cousin, and I sent him a message. So I don't recall. I never chat in game. That's why I saw that and I was like, huh, what am I talking about? So anyways, this is going to be a Zerg versus Zerg, which is one of the matchups that I've been getting a little bit more proficient at. And as you guys can see, I am opening up with a very fast gas and pool. And for all of you guys who play Zerg as well, I know a lot of people who watch my YouTube channel might play Zerg. And I know a lot of people who were on the fence during the beta probably play Zerg because of watching my videos and all that. So hopefully you guys, you know, listen closely, and I can give you guys a couple of pointers and tips if you guys are in the lower leagues in StarCraft 2. You know, when I say lower leagues, maybe like, you know, gold, silver, maybe diamond, but, you know, platinum, diamond, but if you're already Masters, you should be okay. You can't really learn too much from me because I'm not like a super pro or anything like that. But anyways, I do have my Zerglings coming in here. This is my early aggression build that I learned from Chance, who's a cool guy. He's a good friend of mine who was on my team before, not on my team anymore. I open up with 11 pool, 11 gas, get really early Zerglings, go for Baneling Nest extremely early, and basically you count on your opponent making a couple mistakes and breaking in and doing a ton of damage. So as you guys can see, I am going to finish speed before my opponent. I already have a Baneling Nest, as you guys can see right there. And what you do is basically morph some Banelings out of vision of the enemy overlords, outside of their natural, and try to get in there. What you want to do is walk the Banelings into the main by right-clicking right here in the mineral field, and then hopefully your Banelings will get in there. But Tenken's doing what he needs to do. He's very smart here. He's getting, you know, the Spine Crawler, he's got the Queens, he's making Banelings of his own, so this is going to be really hard for me to break through. And so I'm sending my Zerglings in here, thinking about killing that Crawler off first. I might change my plans here pretty soon. Running the Banelings up, and everything just detonating in a huge fireball, and he gets his Banelings still down there. And unfortunately for me, I weakened a lot of stuff, but I really wasn't able to kill anything. But that's where macro comes in, and if you're on top of your macro, then you should be able to, you know, reinforce. So I'm reinforcing here. Kill a Crawler and 2 Queens, that's always good, and killing off his enemy Queen as well. But you guys have to remember here, I have to do a lot of damage because I didn't fast expand like Tenken, so I've really got to kill off a good number of drones here, and only was able to kill off 2. And unfortunately, he's still way ahead in drones. He's at 17 over 13. One thing I can take away from that last battle, though, was that I did kill off all of his Queens. So That'll definitely hinder his production for some time, but I am behind right now in this game unless I can get some more damage in. And when you're facing this kind of situation, you've really got to start asking yourself, do I want to play for the late game, or do I want to you know, try to end the game right now? So it kind of puts you in a bit of a bind, and I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and try to play for the late game. I don't know why I'm getting an Evo Chamber right there. I guess I was worried about a potential Zergling counterattack, so that's why I got the Evo Chamber and the Spine Crawler inside my mineral field. But at this point I was thinking, you know what, let's go ahead and play for the late game. Maybe I did do enough damage, and I can try to macro my way out of this little situation. So I did get the hatchery down, and of course, at this point in time, it's very important to know, you know, do I produce more Zerglings? Do I produce more drones? And what I wanted to approach in this game was produce Zerglings, but only enough to set up a contain to keep Tenkin scared. And behind that, I was going to drone up. So you guys can see 10 Zerglings on the way, and then after that, pretty much all drones. So that was my my strategy, I guess, to get ahead in this game. And we'll see if this is going to work or not. So I do have some Zerglings kind of running across the field. Some more Zerglings out here. They're going to be rejoined by the reinforcements, and I should be able to have enough to overpower Tenkin. And maybe if I can destroy this hatchery, that would be a really, really good start to this ZVZ. Anytime you can, of course, kill off a 300 mineral investment, you're looking pretty good. So I am kind of go for this kind of wave 2 here while I'm droning up. Unfortunately, Tenkin is coming out, and he may attack my Banelings before they start morphing, but what you got to do here is send 1 or 2 Zerglings in every Baneling and force it to detonate, because he's going to try to catch your group of Zerglings. And you guys can see right there, what I did was really just train 1 or 2 Zerglings on the group of Banelings, and let's see if I can do that. Yeah! Goodness, I am running a Baneling inside the mineral line at the same time, but unfortunately my micro not on point. I did detonate 1 Baneling inside the field, and let's see, I think I weakened a ton of drones. Yeah, I did weaken a ton of drones right there, but unfortunately unable to eke out any more drone kills. And so just 5 drone kills total so far, but it looks like through that harass, you know, this is the key of StarCraft 2. If you're going to harass, make it so that you're harassing while you're droning up. And you guys can see through that harass, I was able to overpower my opponent significantly in numbers of drones. In fact, my opponent hasn't been droning up at all. He's at 16, which has been the same number he's had since the first few minutes in this game. And the reason for that is because he was so scared. He was so worried about my potential counterattack and the Zerglings I made at the front door that he never had a chance to drone up. But likewise, he is pretty smart here, and he goes for the counterattack. And I don't really have anything here to defend against this, so pretty volatile matchup right now as he sends a ton of Zerglings into my natural and then runs into my main, kills off both of my queens as well, and still wreaking havoc inside of my drone line. So at this point, you just gotta know when's the right time to call upon your drones to fight. And I think that was the time, that was the right situation to go ahead and do that. But with that move right there, you guys can see Tenkin drones up behind his attack, and he was able to actually catch up in economy and even out the game with that very smart move. Now, for all of you guys who are Terran and Protoss and you guys are watching this, you guys are like, well, this doesn't really apply to myself. You know, it doesn't apply. I don't attack and drone up behind an attack. I'm always producing SCVs while I'm attacking. I'm always producing SCVs while I'm building up forces. I know it doesn't apply, but you know, this is more helpful, I think, for Zerg players to kind of understand the dynamicness and the volatility of this matchup. So yeah, that was a pretty rough start to this game for both of us actually, but I am still ahead in supply somewhat, and it looks like now once you have gotten out of that volatile bling stage in ZVZ, that's when you really go into a roach stage. And you guys can see right now I am getting my roach worn up, I'm getting my roach speed, and starting to get some Evo chambers down so that I can not only block Zerglings from running into my main, but I can also get those upgrades for those roaches. And that's really the name of ZVZ. Once you get past that crazy Zergling Baneling stage, you're going to go either into roaches or you're going to go into mutas. Mutas having been a new popular metagame switch for Zerg players. As of recently, a lot of Zerg players are enjoying the mutalist tech switch because it gives you such mobility in the skies, and you can't hate on that. You know, having a bunch of mutas in the air, you can pick off all the overlords, and you can keep your opponent on the back foot. But anyways, at this point, it looks like I decided it was a good time to go for a little bit of a timing attack with my roaches, and gonna try to time that with my glial reconstitution, which is roach speed. Unfortunately, my opponent looks like he has enough defenses here, but the point of this attack isn't to actually attack, but rather just to force my opponent to stop droning, so that I can over-drone ahead of him. And yeah, it's going to cost me some units here. You guys can see I'm losing some of my roaches, but as long as I'm making more drones in the background, which am I? No, I'm not. I'm actually telling him I got to turn off my music. Yeah, like I said before, this is on stream. Tenkin saying, don't play the hyphy music, saying off the crunk juice today. So, anyways, I wasn't droning up. I was actually producing more roaches because his army looks to be pretty large here, and I don't want to let another counterattack end up killing me, even though I have a crawler at the front. So, I'm sticking with the traditional roach style with +1/+1, but my opponent Tenkin here has decided, you know what, he's gonna go ahead and rock the Mutalisks, and this is really popular. Like I said before, in today's ZVZ, a lot of Zergs now are just going for mutas, and you know, obviously roaches can't attack mutas, and mutas are really good against almost everything the Zerg has, until Zerg can get either a combination of hydras and roaches or a ton of infestors with fungal growth. So either way, mutas are a solid strategy here. This changeling just somehow landed down inside my roach pack, and I wasn't able to recognize that. So I guess that certainly stays alive for a really long time. This is my first time I've rewatched this replay, guys. So do forgive me. You know, obviously everybody makes some mistakes, but it looks like that changeling did make its way inside my main, and it's probably going to be chilling in there for a very long time. Meanwhile, Tenkin throwing up a ton of crawlers here. And this is always a good sign. If you can scout out this many crawlers at the front door of a Zerg player, it's always a good indication that they're going for mutas. And the reason why they get the crawlers is to compensate for the lack of ground army. So in a ZVZ, if you ever see a Zerg player throwing up that many crawlers, in fact, in most matchups, if you ever see a Zerg player throwing up this many crawlers, ZVT, ZVP, expect a lot of mutas to be coming out. So I did run my Overseer in there. I did see the huge flock of Mutalisks popping out right now, and immediately decided to throw down 2 crawlers. What I usually do is throw down 2 spores at every base, and maybe even extra. Because, you know, at this level, it's always better to be safe than sorry. So that's kind of my approach to this game, and I'm throwing down extra crawlers everywhere. But also getting my infestors out here, so I'm going to have fungal growth pretty soon to deal with the Muta pack. And it looks like Tenkin has gone ahead and flown in here. Unfortunately, I don't have anything here yet. I didn't think about throwing up some spore crawlers over at my third. So it looks like the third is actually going to get picked off. And Tenkin really smart here. Notice how he spreads out his Mutalisks apart from each other. This is just to make it less likely that a fungal growth is going to hit any one pack and lock it down permanently. So that's really smart. Just creative game sense right there. There the infestor pops out, but it's like, oh, sorry guys, it's too late. So once again, he's keeping his Mutaflock spread out, just kind of using the magic box. Picks off, looks like he'll pick off a spore. I might get a fungal. I do get a fungal, so that's good. Always good to get as many fungals as possible. But it's just not as effective because of the fact that he's not keeping his Mutalisk come together. So what I decided to do is go ahead and go for a roach counterattack. You know, if he is going to... I need to actually pull away now. If he is going to invest into this many mutas, then surely my roach pack must be bigger. And that's my thought process there. So might as well, you know, make use of them. At the very least, maybe you'll pull his Mutalisks away. And look, voila, what does it do? Pull his Mutalisks away. And not only that, but I get the hatchery snipe. Now, it would have been nicer if I had pulled the roaches away right after I killed off that hatchery. But at any rate, you know, take a W, take the win wherever you can, and look on the positives and continue to build on that. That's kind of my policy. So I do have a pretty large contingency of roaches and hydras right now, but I am stuck on 2 bases, so it would be really good of me to go ahead and grab another expansion. And I decided at this point, my thought process was, well, I got my third sniped out. I know my opponent is going to resecure this third, and it's very likely here that he's going to double expand on me to really get on top in the game. So if he's going to go for mutas, he's already got so much... he's already got the ability to traverse both land and air. The terrain doesn't matter, so I might as well just throw the hatchery at the more exposed gold anyways. So that was my thought process there, and hopefully it'll keep me up to par on him if he is in fact double expanding, which he is. And here comes some more fungal growths. Always nice to pick off a pack like that. But my opponent wisely sending in his mutas here. He's keeping them somewhat spread out, but not quite enough. And this is what the moment I've been really waiting for, when you can get a bunch of infestors underneath these mutas, chain fungal them, launch a couple of infested Terrans, and pick off a huge flock of mutas, essentially for free. But Tenkin also coming around the backside here with roaches once again. So smart here. I really feel like this, the reason why I'm casting this actually is because I felt like it was such a back and forth ZVZ, really showing a lot of thought processes and a lot of thinking, rather than just so instinctual like a lot of StarCraft 2 games can be. You know, at the higher level, things get a little more conceptual and cerebral. So you can see there Tenkin realizing, hey, if my army's over here on the right, Metalopolis is a great map to swing around, snipe off the gold hatchery, and that is exactly what he did. And it looks like he's going to send another pack of roaches down to the bottom right to check for a potential third, which right now is only occupied by a solo infestor. Infestors always make me laugh. Look at them, they're so cute. So here comes my army going over to the top left. That roach pack is not going to find a third, but it will find an infestor to kill off for free, essentially, and I wasn't paying attention to that. Infestor did go down. But I was more occupied right now with how do I deal with this Zerg army. And I'm behind in this game right now because my opponent's double expanded. I don't have any hatcheries except for the first two that I've been on. I need to make an attack happen, and I'm behind in supply, of course, as well. So I'm trying to get the best engage possible. Looks like I got a great fungal growth right there, and that's exactly what I needed to do to push my opponent back. And now I have the ability to take out one of these hatcheries, and of course I'm going to take out the one over here where the spine crawlers aren't exactly defending. So there you guys see my queens coming off the creep. I don't know what these queens are doing. Go back home. So there you guys see the importance of fungal growthing in ZVZ. You want to try to get the best engage possible. This was one of the better ones, really, to get a huge fungal off on the ramp when all the units are clumped up, and then getting a massive concave around that army. Even though I had lesser of an army, I was able to overpower him. So that was really important to make that attack work, and I was able to kind of even up the bases a little bit, although I am not mining at all at the gold, and if I don't react quickly enough, I might end up losing this hatchery. So no, I think I'll save it. Let's check his upgrades. 0-0 on his Zerglings. I'm at 1-2 on my roaches. My opponent is at 0-2, so he's just slightly behind in upgrades, but he's interestingly enough teched up to Hive already and is getting the Ultra Cavern out, so I guess he's really going to try to rush the tech out here. We'll see if that works or not. He's sending a couple of mutas in, but those mutas are going to get cleaned up by my infestors, and I think they may have held off 1 or 2 infestors or so. But it's very important for you guys to note here that the one sole thing that's been keeping me in this game has been the infestor. If I didn't go for infestors here, I would just have lost the game so long ago. I mean, my roach pack, not nearly as big as his roach hydra army, as you guys can see. At multiple points in this game, my army hasn't been nearly as big as his. But the infestors, the fungal growth, the ability to deform your opponent's position and really exploit it has been able to keep me in the game. And the little side attacks here are cute as well. Obviously, what I'm trying to do here, you always want to think when you do these little two-pronged attacks too. What's the best way to make this work? And what I was hoping to do here was pull my opponent's entire army off sides and then catch it in the middle of the map with my roaches and infestors. But my Tenkin was smart. He only sent a few roaches to deal with that, and so he will clean that up with 3 roaches rather than 2, and he attacks my army here in a beautiful position, but his hydras are clumped up, and that was the fungal. The money fungal. Oh wow, I didn't really know I killed off that many hydras. That was nice. So even though I lose this battle right here, it's okay, because if he gives chase and continues to pursue, I can fungal this army down and pretty much kill it off. Or can I? Do I have enough energy? I should have enough energy. There we go. So I'm just regenerating a little bit by burrowing the roaches. Oh, but he's going to kill my gold hatchery. So that was actually a really nice blow by Tenkin to kill off my gold and further put me under supply. Not under supply, but under economy. And now really just stuck on my original 2 bases and distance mining. So that was really smart play by Tenkin, and by all means Tenkin here should have the advantage because I'm distance mining and he's still got the 2 hatcheries up and running, although he's not really mining out of them. Let's see. I don't really know why Tenkin has lesser supply than me. He's just not spending his money, I guess, nearly as well. He has a little bit more money, a little bit more gas, and he's actually investing it into chitinous plating. Wow. So, and a Nidus network. Okay, well, I do remember the Nidus worm that eventually pops up in my base. So, you guys will see that momentarily. But Tenkin here really investing a lot of that gas that he really wants to should be saving up for the late game in these very high-tech units. So we'll have to see if the Ultras are going to be effective. The Nidus Worm is certainly an interesting take to late game ZVZ, and I've seen some players really work that quite well. But we'll see what happens here. I am burrowing my roaches, obviously, to regenerate their HP. My army has been re-solidified. It's pretty large, and I'm kind of pushing into the middle here at the gold, just checking to see if he has his gold yet. He doesn't. It's always nice to kind of hold this position, too, because you have the high ground. But I'm also going to go ahead and, since I have so many infestors here, why not burrow 2 away? You don't need so many infestors, and it's really good to just send out some burrowed infestors behind the hatchery, spew out a slew of infested Terrans, and by the same mechanic as before, distract my opponent and hopefully catch him off sides and, you know, get a good position on him. So here we go. Infested Terran's going to spawn out, and immediately, what do? I push in with this army to intercept his army and get a beautiful fungal growth down, but it looks like he's going to try to out-position my infestors, and he has so many roaches here. So this was a bit of a problem for me, but my infestor is still pretty brave here, still staying in the battle. I don't know if they want to get up that close and personal. It's very important to keep your infestors alive, so burrowing them, getting them out of the way. It looks like my infested Terrans in the back here were able to kill off quite a few drones. 12 drone kills on that guy and 5 drone kills on that guy. So I was able to certainly lower his economy by a big number. But very back and forth ZVZ right now, and bringing up some more infestors, some more fungal growths. Just trying to stay alive right now and get mining to happen at this gold. This is really the only thing keeping me alive in this game, and if I lose that gold hatchery one more time, then I'm probably out of this game. So it's very important for me to keep that gold alive at all costs as I go ahead and attack once again. And that was a terrible move by me to not control those 2 infestors. But it's okay. Okay, I still get the other infestors out, and I do get the unburrow and get a bunch of fungal growths out. I'm not sure why I spew out a bunch of infested Terrans here, though. As a Nidus Worm pops up inside my base, the saliva of the Nidus's teeth, I guess you could say, coming out right there. And Tenkin comes out with a bunch of roaches and zerglings. Goes for my Roach Horn first. That's very smart. And ZVZ. Looks like my infested Terrans end up paying for themselves. It's very smart in ZVZ to go for the to go for the Roach Warren, especially if I'm going for all-out roaches. He's also going to get the infestation pit too, unless I can save it. Transfuse it up! So I guess I was able to keep the infestation pit alive, and meanwhile my infested Terrans doing some decent work here, getting my infestors in the back, a couple more kills. Still have back and forth going on in the middle of the map here, but things are getting down to the wire right now, and I finally kill off that Nidus Worm. But did I build another Roach Horn? You know, it's really smart in ZVZ if you're going to lose your main tech production facility to rebuild it, and I'm not too sure if I did. In fact, I'm starting to build up a ton of resources now because I don't have a new Roach Horn. But at the very least, I might get this hatchery kill. No, the infested Terrans are unable to do so. But the thing here, the beauty here is, even if he kills off your infested Terrans, he has to morph in an Overseer, he has to get detection here, or these 2 guys are going to continue to do just obscene amounts of damage. And look at that, we have a Queen providing a little bit of health for that hatchery to bring it back up to full health. But it looks like Tenkin is going to go for Broodlords and Ultras here. That could be really problematic for me. And I finally reinvested in a new Roach Horn. I guess I really realized there that I did lose the Roach Horn inside my main. It's probably a good idea to go ahead and make a new one. So yeah, it's a really this was a really good ZVZ. I felt like it was a super late game, back and forth game, and a lot of action and a lot of thinking that went into this game. So I hope you guys enjoy so far. Here I am spreading creep. Always important to spread creep in ZVZ, even because it gives you vision, and that's really the only reason why. And here comes the Broodlords. They have revealed themselves, and if you find yourself in this situation where the Broodlords are sieging on that location and you don't have anti-air, just pull away. Don't stick around. A lot of players make the mistake of just trying to stick around, and they end up losing more forces than they need to. But if you think about it, I've already gotten all the maximum usefulness I can get out of that gold. I don't need to keep it alive. And so Tenkin coming in here with his roaches, his ultras, and his Broodlords, I get a great fungal off on his enemy roaches. And as long as I can get these Broodlords to draw them onto land, then I can deal with them with my infestors. And that's all I'm trying to do here, is just pull them onto land. But I guess Tenkin at this point realized that he wanted to leave the game. And I'm not too sure why he left the game. I certainly felt like he could have made a longer game out of that. But he did leave the game right there. And I don't exactly agree with his decision right there. I think he could have stayed in for a little bit longer. But yeah, that was a really back and forth ZVZ. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And as usual, when I cast my own games, not nearly as much of a shoutcast, rather more of me talking about how I was thinking and my thought process through the game and why I did this and why I did that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, I'm going to be doing more Zerg than I do Protoss and Terran, but I do want to do some Protoss and Terrans in the future as well. So hope you guys enjoyed. And this is HD Ladder Battle Game 30. Thanks, guys, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas. HD signing out. Oh, wait, before I sign out, I actually wanted to remind you guys to make sure to check out my YouTube channel on December 25th on Christmas, because I will be uploading a very special Christmas game. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but make sure you guys check it out. That's all I'm going to say. So that's that. And now HD is signing out. See you guys.